Those scenes on the International Space Station that when we got to interview the actual astronauts of the ISS, we couldn't wait to ask about the movie. What's it like working with Sandra Bullock?
We have yet to see Sandra Bullock up here, but we continue to look for her.
We found her in an appropriate setting beneath one of the actual former space shuttles, now inside the Carrier Intrepid Museum in New York Harbor, where the Oscar winner, now 49 and a veteran of 40 films, said for her the film Gravity had its own gravitational pull into something altogether different.
That experience for me was one of the most profound and exciting experiences I've ever had. As an actor, as a woman, someone the age I was, I go, look at what I get to do.
Sandra Bullock plays Dr. Ryan Stone, a biomedical engineer on her first mission designed to repair the Hubble Space Telescope. George Clooney plays the classic astronaut with devil-may-care swagger who scoffs at danger.
I know, you never realized how devastatingly good-looking I am.
It's a movie that reminded a lot of people why we go to the movies in the first place, because it pulls you in and takes you away. 220 miles above the Earth, hurtling around the Earth at 17,000 miles an hour. It took 4 years to shoot and complete.
Action.
They invented new technology to use along the way, the footage seen here for the first time. As she glides through weightless space, you have to remind yourself it was filmed down here.
They made a carbon fiber plate out of my torso.
Who among us hasn't?
Well, if you want the ultimate body, get a carbon fiber plate, and you can make these bigger, make the waist a little smaller, which they didn't do for me, but that small carbon fiber plate was then inserted into my clothes, and they attached the wire rigging to it, so you couldn't see it, but it held your entire body. And then the puppeteer was flying you, so they were controlling your lateral moves, your horizontal moves, and you were responsible for the zero gravity. It was amazing.
And in the end, it's a more accurate depiction of space, a place with no gravity, no air, and no sound. What an incredible, almost criminal use of silence. It's really used as a weapon.
It is a weapon because it forces you to be all alone with what exists in your head.
For the Oscar-winning actress, making this film meant days of solitary confinement in a light box, up to 10 hours at a time, surrounded by screens of LEDs, with no one to relate to, no other actors to play off of, linked to the director only by earpiece, which also supplied music, which she found critical.
If I couldn't get someplace, I said, play me cue 2 or 4, and keep running through them until I feel the cue that feels like the scene.
She was able to converse with her Mexican director, Alfonso Cuarón, and his heavily accented English made that an adventure.
I have no idea what the man is saying when he is talking to me.
So you don't know if you've done good work, really?
I have,
yet.
no, I in my own head, I heard him praise me and say, good work, Sandra, you did a very good job today.
I heard he was saying good dog.
He could have been saying good dog.
Okay. I heard it as good dog.
George, you mean on the end?
Sandy asked me to ask you, what were you saying the whole time you were filming this movie?
I would just say, I don't know, Sandy. I don't know. And she thought I was giving direction.
Yeah. How did you deal with those criticisms that her hair was supposed to be flying freely and all that?
That I agree. We knew about those things.
Of course you did.
It's choices that you make. And those are choices that you make, you try to create a cinematic journey.
Then there was the urgent issue of what to do about Clooney. Filming with her friend of 20-plus years meant declaring a truce with the best-known practical joke artist in all of Hollywood.
I was very vulnerable, and I asked him and if he would please not harm me or my family in any way, and he concurred that this was probably not the best film to pull out all the stops, and I appreciate that.
How did they lift you up when you needed it? Was Melissa McCarthy allowed set visitation
Oh, if
rights?
she'd only been, I would have gotten nothing done. I had the blessing that at the end of the day, you get to run outside with your child, and that was, for me, just, you know, the saving grace when you're playing someone who doesn't have that luxury anymore.
This movie marks a return to the top for the woman who last clutched an Oscar in 2010 following The Blind Side, and all that has come in between. You had this great life, you had a brief non-great period, and how much does the movie Gravity get credit for the fact that you're back at great now?
The movie gets all the credit for being in a really wonderful workspace. Career-wise, I owe everything to that gift. Life-wise, it's because I have the most beautiful son.
You do. Having just met him, you do.
I know.